I've Axel Pershagen, was it correct?
Yes, that's
okay,
correct.
from Hammarby IF, or
Yes.
Bayern, as the fans would like to say.
Exactly.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself first. How did you end up with Bayern, and what are you doing?
I used to work as a journalist for 8 years. Came directly from the education to work at TV4 or Fotbollskanalen, the website. I worked there for 9 years covering football, and then I've always been a fan of the club. I grew up in the stands, more or less, and so I've always been a fan of the club. But then I worked as a journalist, and when I was going to take a new step in my career, and I was actually going to work with something completely different, like work with communications outside of football, just normal communications. And then this job opened up, and I applied, and I'm extremely happy because it's a dream job.
I would be. So, so what do you do as a media person for Bayern?
We're two people holding pretty much the same position in the club, and what we're doing is we produce our own material. Like we cover the website, do player interviews on video, even we write about the games, we write about things happening in the club, marketing things. We cover the latest team, the first team, and everything around that. We have some people helping us with some of the coverage with producing the material, but more or less we do most of it ourselves.
So you basically run and organize the things?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And much focus on the entire club, not just the team.
Yes.
We work close to the team, but we also work with like the marketing department and ticket sales and everything.
What about social media? How important is that for you?
Extremely important. I've been here 3 years now, and I think in these 3 years, I'm not going to take credit for it, but in these 3 years we have developed it a lot. Because we have seen that it's like, first of all, it's a great opportunity for the fans to come closer to the team. Fans want to know the players better. I think that's a good thing, good in two ways, both because it creates more interest, but it also has like a side effect that's very good, that in these times with all the hate in social media, players can get really much shit if they do. Even if they don't do anything wrong, they can become scapegoats. And when you personalize players, when you get to know the human a little bit, social media is good to come close. Then it's harder to hate someone if you know the person. So we work quite a lot with getting to know the players, and then of course the marketing side. I mean, today I just have to say I visited Borussia Mönchengladbach on a study just 2 years ago, and they said they get more money from the social media advertising than they get from the shirts. And I mean, that's the way we're going as well, but we're not quite there yet, but that is the future. You
ought to check FC Köln. Check out their players and the social media. It's excellent. It is very good for second division club who's now going up. It's very, very good. What about the social media? In which order would you put them? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? Which are the most important? Twitter?
Depends a little bit on what kind of information. Instagram is obviously the #1 platform right now. If you want to direct people to sales, Instagram is very good. If you do Insta stories and you can swipe to ticket sales and everything. But you shouldn't underestimate like Facebook, because Facebook, everybody's saying Facebook is going to die, Facebook is dead already. And
they've said that for a few years now.
And what we can see is, well, Facebook has like an aging population. It's older people on Facebook now. But I mean, if you look at the stadium, we have older people here as well.
Well,
older people, I mean,
they have the money.
Yeah, and they're not like, it's not 80 or 90 years old. It's people in the 40s and 50s are the most active on Facebook, and these are the same people who buy merchandise to stay here in the stadium. So you can have a real tight connection to them on Facebook. Everybody's looking at Instagram now because Instagram has the youth, and the youth is very important for the future. But Facebook has the people with money.
You yourself have been with the media, and occasionally clubs tend to clash with the media, and there's some conflicts with the media. How do you feel that you have been treated by the Swedish media?
Well, it's I mean, it's not a big group of people, so I pretty much know every single person from my time working there. there's some new guys, but I pretty much know them personally, and that makes it easier. You can have like informal conversations with people and say, if they want to do an interview, I can say, oh, don't do that interview, do this one instead, this is better, and I can help them a little bit, and they can, because it's much easier when they know me, they can trust me, and I can trust them. Then obviously I know my role, I can't tell them everything.
I know.
They will not tell me anything, so we still have, but we haven't had any real clashes yet. I mean, it's been...
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have our issues, and we have had small issues, but it's easier even if you have a conflict, if you know the person you have a conflict with, then you can talk about it. So it's been easier for me because I know the people.
Yeah, I would imagine, because I've been on both sides of the table as well. So,
exactly.
Yeah. What about there's been, over the past 2 weeks, there's been a lot of talk about tifos and Bengalis and that. What do you think? What's going to happen?
Actually, I don't know, but I'm quite pessimistic. I'm not. It doesn't look good right now because we see that police are stepping up their aggressive. They're more aggressive towards the fans. And we see that.
Why is that?
I don't really know. That's the problem, and I don't think they know themselves. I think the police who work at the stadiums, close to the clubs, off the record, they say, we don't know why we're doing this. This is terrible. But it's people in the top who don't. It's political reasons, obviously.
Okay.
And they have a hang up right now on the obviously illegal flares and smoke and everything, and they're very hang up on getting rid of that. And that's a big problem because the fans see that as their right to do so, even though it's illegal. So and it's like they're in a sandbox, two kids fighting. Because the fans are not. The fans on a higher level are very open to dialogue, but when the police come with their hard laws, the fans tend to react very aggressively instead of taking the easy way. They go full frontal attack towards them. And I think we're going to see this season. I think we're going to have a lot more problems with people who do the flares just to provoke.
I totally agree, and I'm not so much worried about Hammarby, but I think Sunday's derby game will be a problem. Yeah,
we were quite worried before our derby against Djurgården. Luckily, it was pretty much without incidents, and we have had 2 derbies against Djurgården this season so far. We've been very prepared before them that this can go wrong, but fortunately everything's worked out great. And we hope it's going to continue this way, but there is a little bit scarce that the police are stepping up, and they don't seem that interested in dialogue. Not to the fans, that's one thing, but not to the clubs either, and not to the federation even. They don't even speak to the federation, so we don't really know what to do.
They're sort of asking for the trouble, actually, in that respect, in my opinion.
I hope it's not that way, so I'm not going to say it's that way, but I can understand if you suspect that.
Yeah. 3 big clubs in Stockholm area. You, AIK, and Djurgården. How fierce is the rivalry?
Extremely. Traditionally, Djurgården and AIK have had like a special relationship. They're formed on the same day, on the same street, the same year, on the same street. Hammarby's been like a little bit different club from the south. But over the years, Hammarby has developed more to be a top club. Maybe not always on the field, but at least in here, in the stadium. We've always been like a big public club. Shit in the on the pitch, but best in the stands. Exactly. Nowadays we try to be good on the pitch as well. We're
you did pretty well last year.
And nowadays it's switched a little bit because we can see that the derby they play on Sunday now doesn't have that much pressure. They don't sell as much tickets as we do when we have home derbies. And the city has developed a little bit. Before it was a little bit mixed. Hammarby was the southern team, AIK the northern team. Djurgården a little bit everywhere, and they had the hockey fans. Nowadays, hockey in Stockholm is quite dead. I say that even though Djurgården went to the finals this year, but that's a one-off. Hockey doesn't have that interest in Stockholm. So we have like Djurgården. Hammarby has really claimed all of south of Stockholm. AIK have claimed the north of Stockholm, the west of Stockholm, and Djurgårdens are pretty much in the middle, looking for their place. And now they share a stadium with us, and they've done a brilliant job. I have to full respect to them. If Hammarby had not existed, everybody would say Djurgården did brilliantly. They had a stadium, an old stadium. They moved to a big stadium. They increased the fans really much. They have done a really good thing, increasing the fans. But we have increased so much more that they always get compared to us, and then they look bad, even though they actually do quite a good job and are growing. But we have obviously done better.
Yeah. You were in the European top 40 2 years ago with the average crowd.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome for the club from Sweden and club from Scandinavia.
That's something we're extremely proud of. We've been the biggest club in in Scandinavia and Northern Europe. For even when we were down in Superettan last year. So we're quite humble, even though I know the club is doing a good job. We're also very humble to the fans because they're doing a good job as well, creating this atmosphere that drives people here. So it's most of all, it's up to them in the stands right here because they are the ones who bring people here. I mean, they can watch Barcelona or Liverpool on television, and all respect to our players, they're not as good. But you experience something else in here.
Hammarby, just like AIK and Djurgården, you are all multi-sport clubs.
Yep.
Is that good or bad?
I haven't actually thought about that in that way because it's just a reality. It's the way it is. I can't see it any other way.
Yeah.
But I think for the winter sports, it's a big challenge because the hockey and the handball and the bandy, they're all playing on the same day sometimes, and they fight among each others, and it gets a little bit infected sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can help each other. Sometimes it clashes. For us, obviously, we're the biggest club, so for us it's not a big problem. We're the biggest section support-wise. Even our ladies team, which are within the same section, because obviously it's the same sport, are one of the biggest sections. So we don't experience the problem, and we don't have that much competition in the summer. It's only in the winter that they have some problems, and we don't.
But you have rugby as well.
Yeah, obviously, and speedway and But we don't have the big competition with the fans there because it's, with all respect, very much smaller.
So, what else is there that the Finnish people should know about Bayern?
That it's a lovely club. It's really, I'm very proud every time I have a match here. I mean, if you look at the number of people coming to these games, and you think that we have 15 home games in the Allsvenskan every year and some cup games on that, I think we're one of the biggest, if not the biggest, event organization.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
In Sweden. And we have very safe stadium. We have the almost aggressive atmosphere sometimes. We have the fans who really have the passionate, the singing, and really get into the game. But still, I think we are the #1 club in Sweden when it comes to between genders, the most female in the stands. We have definitely the youngest attendance in Sweden since we moved stadium. In the old stadium, it was always full, so the new generation never came in. And now we have the family section sell out their tickets before the standing people do. So we have like a very mix of people coming here from all financial situations, from all areas of Stockholm, from all backgrounds, nationally, ethnically, gender, age. It's just a big mix of what Stockholm is, and it's a welcoming environment. People read in the media and think football is dangerous and bad, and it's only angry young men. Yeah, we have the angry young men as well, but we have everybody. And that's the beautiful thing here, that you can always find someone who's like you, or someone who's completely different, but they become your friend. And that's what Hammarby is to me. It's just a big community.
Tack ska du ha, Axel. Tack så mycket.